Hello, this is Fighting the Irish. We're back here. Operation Live or Let Die turned 8.7 for USA and KMT. It is January 1940 to finish out the turn. The Americans will move up their IPP to 45 for the Germans declaration war on France. Let's look for their wartime build. How much will they get? They got an 8. That's respectable. They like that. So we'll move 45 to 53. They wanted to pass up the Germans. That was their goal. Okay, and I think they succeeded so far at the end so far this turn. All right, let's move to tech. USA wants to be the first one to complete tech. Stage 4, we have 2 at stage 3. That's jet fighters and long-range aircraft. We definitely are going to go for them. We also want to try for wartime economy, improved construction, attack transports, advanced artillery, and advanced subs. Let's try for that. Here is advanced artillery. Got a 10. We'll move that one up. Next one is jet fighters. Got 11. And that would be USA's first one to complete a tech. Here's for long-range aircraft. They got a 7. Is that enough? They do. They moved that to stage 4. Next one's advanced subs. Let's see, 8 or higher. They got an 11. So advanced subs move. And then wartime economy. Number 5, tech. They miss on the wartime. Improved construction. They got a 7. Improved construction moves up. And last one is a track transports. They really want this one. They got an 8. What do you know? Wow. Some would say a little luck is necessary to win this game or help them go a long way in that. 6 for 7 on tech is sure helping out a lot. 2 completed techs here. 1 in jet fighters, 1 in long-range aircraft. Several more to stage 3. Oh, actually only 2. Improved construction and attack transports. Advanced artillery did move up there to stage 2. Okay, let's go to purchases. That makes a huge difference on what we were going to buy. This is what we're going to buy. KMT is going to save their money, so they're not going to purchase anything. The first jet fighter on the board will be Lend-Lease to the French. They get a jet fighter. The Americans are feeling sorry for their ally, so they will give a jet fighter to the capital. That's in Africa. I don't know about that. They're liking what the British will do or is doing. They will Lend-Lease them 14 IPP. They like what the Russians did, so they will lend 13 to the IPP, and they will buy 1 infantry for themselves. Some say that's quite unfair. America gives so much money away, and all they get is an infantry in return. There is a few combat roles here. KMT will actually want to go on the offensive. We're going to take 1 chip off this back stack right here, and they will take Yemen. They will march into Yemen. Claim that for the Chinese, and so they want to become powerful. They think that anyway. I don't really think so. They're tied down there in the south. Okay, that is the end of the Chinese attack. America will go make their 2 attacks. They are not happy with the Vichy, so they will invade Vichy. They take this transport, go 1, 2, take this guy from Washington, D.C., and claim French Guiana. That's 1 combat. Take this other transport from Washington, go to New York, pick up this infantry, and go to the St. Pierre Island and claim that, both for the Americans. There is a rule, I'm not going to look it up, but anytime that any country that's not native to the Monroe Doctrine and any in North or South America, without their declaring war on the home country, which is Vichy over there, America has the right to go kick them off their continents. America thinks that they pretty much own North and South America, so therefore they will claim French Guiana and St. Pierre. Now, I will put out their flags because now they own those 2 territories over there. They said they don't want anybody that don't belong to our continents to be here. So they're officially gone. They're no longer Vichy. We liberated them. They are worth no IPP value, but I believe Yemen is worth 1. So on the IPP chart, KMT goes up 1, CCP goes down to 1. If I am incorrect on these numbers, please let me know. This is what I have so far. Okay. Now let's place units. The jet fighter will get a straight route from Washington, D.C. to the French capital right there in northern Algeria. They got the brand new shiny jet fighter, first one in the game. They're very proud. The Americans love their new buy. They get 1 infantry for San Francisco. Total of 2 infantry, a marine, and a special marine, U.S. Marine Corps infantry over there. Total of 4, but they have a special one and a normal marine. Okay, the British, since they're doing a lot of heavy lifting in this war so far and helping them out, fighting everybody, they are going to give them $14. And they also think that the Russians deserve some money, or I'm sorry, the communists and the Comintern, through the Arctic line, right past the transport, up and around. You can get Lend-Lease up through there. They will receive 13 IPP. What is that? 14, 17, 11, no, 12 for the fighter. So what is that? 39 plus 3. So they saved 10 IPP. And they'll collect 53 IPP. So they will have 63 IPP next turn. Okay, I believe that is the end of the Americans January 1940 turn 8.4. Now let's do a review of the war so far. On the tech chart, I still see 2 French ships. Haven't left the board, but maybe Panzer J will roll for them next turn. The Americans, I believe, forgot they were supposed to move up some ships, but maybe they'll do it next turn. But either way, Germany has a battleship. French have a battleship. America has a battleship and a carrier in stage 2 or stage 3. Down here, the French have a light cruiser. Japan has a heavy fleet cruiser. America has a heavy cruiser. It looks like the Italians have a cruiser. Those carriers off to the side, those light carriers, will be placed on when the Americans go to war. They automatically will get 2 light carriers in stage 2, and this light carrier will be placed onto stage 3, whatever it's called, to be placed on the board. And the Americans would be happy to take the 4 infantry, the call of arms. Let's review the tech. I would say the only people that got lucky in this round, 6 for 7, were the Americans. They're the first ones to complete in January 1940, turn 8. 2 techs, jet fighters, long-range aircraft. Several people have stage 3, stage 2, and stage 1. The Americans lead the way on that. Let's move to the IPP chart. To my recollection, this is how accurate it is. The Americans lead the way with 53. Germans are getting close with 46. Great Britain, let's call them that, the British part of the Commonwealth, is at 28. Japan is having a little rough going. They're seesawing back and forth, but they're down to 23. They were up higher, but they're having a little rough patch here. The Russians are building fast. I count them at 28 total. The FEC is 19. Pretty high for normal FEC, but they're having an outstanding game, as well as the Great Britons and Anzac. CCP is still a major power, and they're at 12. They are working quite well with the Russians. As you can see, Manchuria and Mongolia are double teaming over there, looking great. The Italians, they actually woke up, taking a long time away from seeing anybody. They popped up in Albania, but they're still collecting tin. Anzac lost $1. I mean, if Japan wants, they can do whatever they want to them. They're out there for their giving. And Chinese didn't want to be totally last because Free French is down there too. They're both at 4. Let's recap. Let's be honest. German came into France and just dominate it. Those big blue artillery, they are pretty. They're expensive, but it looks like they did their job. I mean, there's a lot of them left. Those medium tanks are scary no matter how you look at it. There's 11 of them. France was just dominated. There was no chance. No defense could stand up to that much firepower. 12 tanks, 8 artillery, a couple cavalry here and there, but that was just awesome to see. Just dominated France like that. Belgium, no chance. Netherlands, I mean, combined forces, Air Force, tanks, and artillery. They put up some fight. It doesn't look big now. 3 tanks and the artillery left. They did. They Netherlands inflicted some pain, but nothing. The Germans were too tough to go in there. My hat's off to Poland. They fought brilliantly. They fought strong. They came to fight. They gave the Germans all they can handle, all they have left of a massive army going in there. 2 artillery, mountaineer, 5 infantry, but you should have saw the army going in. And the British has taken over the backside of Poland. Since Poland has fallen, the British has stepped in and said, we're going to help. Maybe put a wall between them and Russia. Speaking of Russia, Romania is now Russia. There is still a eastern wall between Germany and Russia, if that makes any difference. Russia is strong right there. But Russia went to war. They got a lot of money. $1 cheaper infantry, land units. They're going to look pretty. This is a whole new landscape. You're going to see something pretty on their turn. Germany won at Hungary. They're staring down Romania. They're staring down all these countries. They might be spread out, but they're strong. Italy took Albania, like I said. Here's France's new capital with a French infantry and a pretty jet fighter. Transport out in the water. Subs are activated. Subs Wolfpack are now going full effect. Convoy is heavy on there. The Americans are not too happy people invaded their continent, so they came down and showed the mighty strength of the American fist. Up here, London is either defending pretty strong, trying to look for a doorway maybe to get into Europe, but they got to defend their country first. Their fleet right outside the British Midlands right there. The Italian fleet right outside of Rome. Big strong point right there, Gibraltar. Controls who comes in and out of the Mediterranean. There's the other strong point, Eastern Egypt, who controls southern the Suez Canal. The last of the French navies right here. The Italians are loading up in Africa. Some more in Abyssinia. The British has now a rail that go from South America to Egypt. Madagascar, Vichy, over here. The FEC is kind of building a kind of a wall of line. See what they can do. Sumatra went back. Now FEC control. And they kicked the Japanese off their island. But The Japanese weren't denied because they kicked Anzac off their New Guinea island. They both have fleets in Sea Zone 122, respectively. That is the British fleet, and that is the Japanese fleet. The Japanese fleet is in Sea Zone 126. Anzac might be ballowing up because they might be scared. Of course, because of that Japanese Navy. The little Chinese spread out a little bit. CCP grew quite big. They own all original KMT territory. They own the back portion of all the northern China, western China, Nanking. Mongolia is the Comintern. And Manchuria is going to be a hot debate because that's the last stronghold of the Japanese. But the Japanese did take a territory in the Soviet Union. Japanese fleet has 4 light carriers around the waters. The French subs, the coastal sub, they did a little convoying against the Japanese there. And of course the Americans bought their infantry, saved a little money, and maybe go big next turn. I know there's a lot of talk about this IPP chart, and America is 10 away from wartime economy in July 1941. I don't know many games where I've seen America so close this early. A lot of things can happen this turn. This was a very eventful turn. It looked great for the Germans. Honestly, the British looked great. The Comintern looked great. They looked dominating. I'll just leave it like that. The French didn't show up. The French didn't put up a good showing. And there will be a round 2 eventually between the Japanese and British Commonwealth. Or maybe not. Maybe they want the Americans. I don't know. 10 away. That means they have to roll a 10 to go to war next turn. Or maybe they might get some help with their little friends in the Mediterranean. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that they want to too. But that's the end of my ranting and raving for Operation Live or Let Die. Turn 8.7, USA KMT turn. USA is very happy with the tech roll this turn. They're happy with what they got on the IPP chart. They're happy they kicked the Vichy out of North and South America. So they are impressed what they had this turn. Now I will turn it back to Panzer J. Well, let's go. 9.1, July 1941. Fighting Irish out. Thank you.